Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Animac here, your boy, the One Piece virgin. Not really virgin anymore, but, you know, we're having fun. And I'm here for a brand new episode of the podcast known as the One Piece Virgin. Joining me, of course, my co-hosts and my best friends and my Nakama boys, Nux and Briggs.
Nux and Briggs!
We love you too, Animac.
Thank you, bro. And in this episode, we are covering the second act of the Wano arc, the current ongoing mega arc in the One Piece story. Chapters that we're covering today are 925 to 955, and next week we're going to be covering 956 to 974, and the week after that we're going to be catching up, guys. It's right around the time that chapter 1000 drops. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Insane that our little One Piece virgin is going to be caught up, a full-blown One Piece hoe for chapter 1000, which you guys know we're going to do a nice little podcast for chapter 1000.
Spoilers were just released for chapter 999.
Were they really?
Sorry. Yeah, just now.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Oh,
It is a crazy time to be a One Piece stan. And I mean, I don't think we should call ourselves the One Piece hoes. I think we should call ourselves the One Piece chads.
Oh, I mean, I'm proudly...
I like that better, actually.
I'm proudly both. Most
oh,
chads
sure.
are
I mean,
hoes.
you do cosplay as Boa Hancock on your Twitch channel.
Sure.
Briggs ADA.
Oh, thank you. King of promotion. Plugs.
Yeah.
You love to see
That's
it.
how I do it, bro. That's how I do it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to talking about this part of the arc. And yeah, man, I can't believe I'm going to be caught up soon. I think we started this podcast on January 28th of 2020. So less than a year ago, and we're about to catch up in less than a year. That's crazy.
And we've been kind of
Pretty
like
whack.
we've been just breaking it up. Like, we haven't been like insanely binging it, right? Like, we've just been breaking it up 20, 25 chapters at a time here, and or even like whatever 30 chapters here and there. And we caught up pretty quick. So it's possible, boys, for anyone who is scared to jump into this big journey, and it's worth it, honestly. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Animac.
Decide to make me sit through the Simpsons Virgin podcast. I'm happy.
Yes. I do think the way we do it is good, though, because I want to be able to speak to the many things that happen, right? And so some people say, oh, you guys should do like a whole one podcast per arc or something like that, but then you would miss so many things. And then a lot of people be like, but you didn't talk about this, bro, but you didn't talk about that, bro. So I think the way we do it is actually really good in terms of a detailed look and reaction at every aspect of every arc.
So where do we
Hell
start
yeah.
off this
In other
time?
words, we're awesome. Pat myself on the back a little bit. Animac, do you realize that the first chapter of Act 2 has Blackbeard?
Yes, that was great. So, in the beginning of this arc, it's not even happening on Wano. We have Moria, who is not dead.
One of
Somehow.
the greatest characters in all of One Piece.
Honestly, even I am unironically beginning to be like, yeah, Moria's okay. Because he keeps showing up. He's resilient. But he confronts Blackbeard, total mad lad, confronts Blackbeard, and Blackbeard and his
Yo.
pirates.
Dude, before this, he's like, I will go to Wano and defeat Kaido. And now he's like, I will destroy Blackbeard.
Yes.
Dude, hell yeah. Dicks out for Gecko Moria.
Yo, he almost takes more L's than Jack.
Almost.
Almost.
Almost, yeah, but not quite. So Moria, basically, he comes up to Blackbeard, and he's like, well, Blackbeard's not there, but I guess they're communicating on Snail. And Blackbeard says that his pirates, or Blackbeard reveals that his pirates have been stealing people's abilities. So not just devil fruits mostly, I guess, but it includes that our boy Absalom, is that his name?
Yes.
That's our boy, Absalom.
Absalom's ability to turn invisible, the clear fruit, was stolen by one of Blackbeard's crew members. I forget what his name is, but he's one of the main guys.
Cheerleader the Rain, or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
The dude, he was the former guard guy and
Yes,
Impel
yeah.
Down.
Impel
Epic
Down, correct.
Swordman.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it's,
so that
it's
was-
so sad. The fruit that Sanji's wanted his entire life, the only devil fruit he'd ever eat. Now someone else ate it again. He'll never be able to
Well,
turn
dude.
invisible.
Well, hold on, Briggs, because, you know,
Epic
some stuff
foreshadowing.
happens later on, yeah. But, bro, Blackbeard's bounty is now over 2.2 billion.
Yup.
God damn. Is
That's
that the
nuts,
highest
like-
current bounty we've seen? I think so.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
it is.
I think it's the only one over 2 billion, and we thought that Luffy's 1.5 billion, right? Is that what it is now? We thought that
Yep.
was a lot.
And Jack's more than 1.5 billion, right? Or
No.
am I wrong?
No,
Never.
Jack is under.
Exactly 1 billion, I think.
1 billion.
No.
Okay.
Or 1.3 or something like that, but definitely lower than Luffy's.
Well, that would make sense. I just remember being so shocked seeing Jack's bounty and then watching him take L after L was hilarious.
Yeah. No, it's Jack had a billion, and then the next one I think was Katakuri. He had like a little higher, more than a billion. And then
Yes.
Queen has 1.3 billion. Like
Oh
we
yeah,
saw.
that was random because Queen to me doesn't seem like a big. I mean, he's big, but he doesn't seem like an important character so much.
Well, we get to see him do something in this act.
Yeah, he fought Big Mom.
Yeah,
Or should I
Yes.
say?
slapped by Big Mom.
Or should I say Olin?
Man was
Holy
spawn
hell
camping.
yeah.
Man was he was just chilling, waiting for them to pop up, just ready to slam them back down.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happened in this arc, and before we got to Wano again in the Blackbeard part, it was revealed that the revolutionaries made their move at the Reverie, attempting to save Kuma, and they faced Fujitora and the other admiral.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But then I don't think we learned the actual outcome of what exactly happened. Just that there was a big revolutionary move, and then they got into a fight. But we don't know who
Yep.
ended up winning, whether they actually rescued Kuma. But yeah, so like Oda, bro, like how do you do this to us? He's
Yeah,
just
it's crazy, right? Dude, the next 2 chapters of One Piece, Animac, honestly, you will be so hard. The next 2 chapters are some of the most fantastic chapters. They're Reverie tier almost.
One would say, yeah. Honestly, it would have been good if Animac had read it, but in this case, we'll have a hype start to next week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very curious to find that out because yeah, we've gotten a lot about Wano now, but it's refreshing to kind of jump back out to the rest of the world and see what's going on there.
And quick thank you to everyone in chat. Thank you for the bits and the subs. You guys are legends.
Yeah, thank you guys. And if you're listening on the podcast platforms, we do this live on Twitch, twitch.tv/rantcafe every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or around that time. Sometimes we're late. And we just officially got partnered on Twitch finally, so that's a big thing here for the Rant Cafe crew.
Hell yeah.
Yo.
All right. I think we still haven't covered what happened with Blackbeard, or have we covered that now? Blackbeard and Moria fully.
Yeah, I think so, because basically the other info that I had in my notes was that Blackbeard was talking about the revolutionaries thing happening.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but also you gotta wonder what's happening here. Is Blackbeard now gonna have an army of zombies on his side as well?
Yeah, and does he even need it? Because Blackbeard seems so OP compared to Moria.
No, but is Blackbeard gonna leave Moria alive? Is he gonna steal his power or give it to some other crony of his?
Oh yeah, I'm guessing he's gonna steal his power because he seems to steal every powerful devil fruit. However, Moria doesn't seem afraid of him at all, so I don't know if Moria is just an idiot or if he actually has a plan.
I think a little bit of both.
Probably an idiot if I had to guess.
Yeah.
This dude gets slapped everywhere he goes, the poor lad.
Oh yeah, but he still keeps going, bro. He still
Hell
keeps
yeah.
going.
Yo, Gecko Moria is like a life lesson to us all.
Yo, Gecko Moria is just trying to undergo his transformation, bro.
He's the secret protagonist of One Piece.
Guys, okay, so now let's talk about Wano, where the big 3 are gathered in the prison over there. We have Luffy, Kid, and Caribou. The big 3.
Let's go,
dude,
Animac.
dude,
This is how
How
we know.
hype was it to see our boy, whatever, is his name like Oily Haired Caribou or something? Like, he has some crappy nickname like that.
Bro, the thing is, I thought you guys were joking when the whole Caribou for Straw Hat thing was happening, but in this act, Caribou literally says, "Hey, Luffy, I want to go with you guys, I want to sail away with you guys, go back home." So it's like, he's like, "I want to join your crew," basically. He's saying it, man. I don't know. This is crazy. And he's obviously, in this arc, we see Caribou help with the prison break. So he is actually working together with Luffy and the gang.
Caribou
Dude,
for
come
Straw
on.
Hat
Is
Boys.
You have to admit, it is the most ironically funny thing that Caribou in Fishman Island, everyone hated him, but seeing his familiar face among the Udon prisoners, it's just, oh, our boy, he's back.
Yes.
This is how we know Adamak is now barely a One Piece virgin when he refers to Caribou as one of the big three.
Yes, let's go.
No, it's funny because so many characters ended up being like that, from Buggy to even Bellamy. All these like people that you wouldn't like at the beginning ended up coming back and kind of being more sympathetic characters.
Nah, bro, Bellamy was better in the Jai arc than Dressrosa.
Yeah, I know for you, but you also think Hisoka is a role model.
Hisoka is the greatest villain in anime.
You don't think he's a villain though?
Okay, what's your point? Villains could be role models, bro.
Okay. Anywho, Kid was very interesting in this arc because we learned that he lost an arm fighting Shanks' pirates. Because the whole thing was their first goal of Kid, Apu, and Hawkins was to make an alliance and take down Shanks before Kaido came in and screwed all that up, because I guess Apu was actually with Kaido the whole time or something, and then Hawkins and Kid were told either serve Kaido or you're done. But Hawkins was like, okay, but Kid was like, no way, man. No way. So that's why he's a prisoner.
Yeah, I think Kaido's still trying to break Kid. Like,
yes.
As we've mentioned, Kaido's crew is a crew where everyone has the potential to be a captain in their own right.
Yeah, so the thing with Kaido is, this was established quite well. Kaido doesn't want to kill any strong warrior, because for Kaido, even though warriors can be strong, they still don't really pose a threat to him. He's a whole different level. So what he wants to do is recruit as many strong warriors as possible to his crew, rather than go off and just kill them randomly. So he wants to like break them down and show them that the best alternative for them is to join his crew and become part of his animal boys.
Exactly,
Animal
right?
boys!
Like, even if they have the potential to betray him, Kaido is so confident that it's like, yeah, I'd rather just have them fighting for me, even if they don't want to be. Even if they might betray me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's a convenient excuse not to have a bunch of characters die off at the hands of such a powerful character,
Exactly.
right?
Honestly, I think it actually fits decently.
Very much fits.
Kaido leaving Luffy alive is much easier to,
I'm not upset
to live
at, like,
through than Crocodile leaving Luffy.
Exactly. It didn't bother me at all, and it's usually a trope that bothers me when it's like you had the opportunity to kill your enemy and didn't. But in this case, like, he wants to recruit a super powerful adversary, right? And we learn about was it Killer? I think his name, like Kid's right-hand man.
Don't do the killer thing yet. We have to go in order, please.
I know, but we're talking about Kid. But okay, fine.
Killer.
Okay.
So yeah, we got some very, very interesting devil fruits introduced in this arc, which is called sorcery, animal sorcery or something in Wano. And basically we got a ton of ancient zones and mythical zones revealed. For example, King has the dragon fruit ancient model, basically like a flying dinosaur type thing.
Yeah, like a pterodon.
Yeah, like it's not a pterodactyl.
I think it was a pterodon.
Similar idea. So he has wings and he's like a big dinosaur, and he ends up using that power to knock down Big Mom's pirate ship, because Big Mom tries to enter Wano. Her ship is knocked down from the fall.
I thought that was actually sick too. Like, we're dealing with all the chaos in Wano, and Big Mom's ship is there. It's like, the Straw Hats are mine. It's like, what? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like that was like a huge other wench into the whole thing. And then Big Mom ends up washing up ashore Wano without her memories. So she doesn't know who she is, and she doesn't remember anything. And she's found by like Chopper and a bunch of other people, and they're like, we're about to be slaughtered. And she's like, hey guys, who are you? Who am I? So that creates an interesting dynamic. I feel like Oda really loves Big Mom as a character, because he keeps bringing her back in different ways. So I feel like he really enjoys her.
So it's funny you mention that. When that chapter was actually released, a lot of people in the One Piece community got upset that, bro, it's so contrived, this memory thing with Big Mom. But I actually think it's kind of hilarious, because Big Mom has these memory issues. Right?
Yeah, it's not like it was just popped out of thin air. She's had memory issues in her flashbacks, right?
Yeah, I think, and honestly, I thought it was hilarious. Sick meme.
Of
Yeah,
course,
and I
it was a
thought
little
that
contrived, but at the end of the day, and it kind of devalues her character as a Yonko a little bit. But at the same time, I think it's just a crazy combination to like be in Wano with Kaido, have Big Mom coming, and we have something else happen in this act as well that we'll get to, but then have her lose her memories, and it just changes the dynamic completely.
yeah, so I thought the whole Olin thing was really cool because Big Mom is such a monster and we know it. And, like a force of nature and absolute like terror. And then we actually see her as a nice person. So that was like a crazy change of pace.
It's almost like One Piece's part comedy.
Yeah, it
What?
is.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I enjoyed
Tom,
that. I honestly, I did enjoy that part because it was such a drastic difference between who Big Mom is usually that it kind of,
And it's also a ticking time bomb, right? It's like, when is she going to gain her memories back? When
yeah,
can this
yeah.
blow up in the Straw Hat's face, trying to exploit her, which is what they're doing.
And yeah, it's funny because they ended up using her really well to help with the prison break. So she ended up fighting off some of Kaido's guys and helped the Straw Hats.
dude, she one-shot Queen. That was hilarious.
Yeah,
She
Queen
not only
got
does
wrecked.
she one-shot Queen, then Queen's like, "Oh, I will use the ultimate technique." Queen climbs up like a few like stories high, jumps off, turns into a Brachiosaurus, Brachio Bomber, just slams into Big Mom, and Big Mom's like unfazed, gets her memories back and falls asleep. And he's like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah. So that was great. I did enjoy that quite a bit. Also, I enjoyed the Ninpo Ball Crusher technique,
Ah, yes.
which is used by that attractive female ninja to
Yes,
crush
yes.
balls.
Passed down the ninja family for generations.
Mhm. Also, Drake was in this. He's another.
Yes. It was revealed
Um,
that Drake was one of the Flying Six or whatever.
What the
Yeah,
hell is
he's one of
that?
the worst generation, but I personally thought he was kind of underwhelming so far in this arc because he just kind of like shows up once in a while, turns into a dinosaur, and it's like, I thought he was cooler than that. Like I feel like
Well, I
Kid
mean,
and
we'll still
Hawkins.
see more of him, obviously. But I do like that this arc is slowly but surely, most of the worst generation is in Wano.
Yep.
Yeah, and I thought that, for example, Kid and Hawkins definitely got to shine a lot more than Drake so far
Of
in
course.
terms of the
Yeah.
worst generation people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
But
who's that?
we're not done with them yet.
And that music guy showed up near the end of the act, right? Like the
Yes.
what's his name?
Apu.
That's Apu? Okay. Yeah, so Apu showed up. He's working with Kaido and he showed up to the Kaido Island with his crew, who like musically inclined people.
Onigashima.
Onigashima, yeah. Oh,
So,
we gotta talk
basically,
about
as-
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, as far as the actual plot goes, we got everyone rekindling the fires of all of the ancient, the 20-year-old rebels, trying to gather them back together to put up a fight.
Yeah. And the chat pointed out we also had Luffy improving his hockey abilities.
Indeed.
Yeah,
the
in two different things.
armament hockey in particular, right?
Yeah, there was two different things he was improving in the while he was like in jail or whatever. One thing, he had those sea prism handcuffs on. So up until now, he's been really reliant on his devil fruit. But now he's actually like bulking up. You're seeing him turn into a Chad, which you love to see because he's literally relying on just pure physical force and muscles. He's not using his devil fruit for anything, and he's actually able to like gain some raw physical strength, which he already had, obviously. But it's cool to see. It's like he's doing a little training arc right now. And then of course we get the hockey moment. What was the guy, that little guy?
Rio!
Rio teaches him that, right?
Yeah. So I actually like that because, I mean, Luffy just got absolutely destroyed by Kaido at the end of Act 1. If he's going to want to shape up, he really needs to work on that. And
Exactly.
now we have, like, this really cute, it's Hyogoro, the flower. My bad.
Yes.
But so now he has this cute little training arc in the middle of nowhere.
And yeah, no, it completely makes sense because obviously he needs a power up to face Kaido. But honestly, I prefer these little hockey improvements than getting a new gear form. You know?
Same.
Like,
Me too.
I
Yeah, I'm
love
with
the
you.
fact that it's like, okay, he needs to enhance his hockey in order to do damage to Kaido and actually like, because as we saw in his last gear form, he punched his face straight into the ground with full effort in gear 4, and it didn't do any damage.
It wasn't actually Gear 4. It was Gear 3.
No, he was in gear 4, bro.
Was he?
He's already done Gear 4, yeah.
No,
No,
he was in Gear
against
3.
Kaido.
Oh,
Chat,
against Kaido?
When he punched his face, slammed him in the ground, it was Gear 3.
was it gear 3? Chat, let me
Yeah.
know. I thought it was. I
Well,
thought
if-
he was in gear 4. I thought he
If
was.
Tekking was here, he would slap us
Yeah,
across
for
the
real.
screen, bro.
Clearly, this was Gear 3.42. It was the first time we've seen. Okay, all right.
Someone in chat said both. Someone said 3. Someone said 4.
No,
3
of
then
course.
4.
He slammed him into the ground with Gear 3, and then he went into Gear 4 to fight him on the ground, and then got slapped.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that for that reason, I do like how Oda gave Luffy a training arc in the midst of everything that's happening. It wasn't like, oh look, Luffy's having a training arc and it's like a detour from the main plot. It was part of the main plot with the whole prison break, but it's a training arc because Luffy needs to get stronger in order to challenge Kaido,
Yeah.
because Kaido is so much ahead of him at this point. So yeah, I thought that was cool, and Luffy's whole attitude, to with all these things happening and all the people, the prisoners being just hopeless, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna die here and all this stuff, and Luffy's like, wow, what a great training opportunity. Like, that was very Brigo of him.
Yes, and it's much more realistic. Like, it's comparable to, like, I don't know if you guys remember when Ichigo learned Bankai mid Soul Society, something that takes decades to learn. He's like, yeah, we'll learn it in 3 days.
I'm not gonna lie, I like that. I think that they did good in the Soul Society.
Honestly,
That was
it's just, I don't really care because I don't really care about things being realistic in that way. But I think the Soul Society arc was fantastic. It was action-packed, fight after fight after fight. It had good plot and a training arc in between for the power-up for the ending. And then we get the Aizen reveal. I thought it was fantastic. Bleach Virgin when? But
don't
I'm
know,
just saying
bro,
this is more
because-
realistic. It's on a smaller scale and it's specifically tailored to Kaido as well.
Guys, what's better, the Aizen reveal or the reveal from chapter 20 of that time I got Isekai to another world with my truck?
20.
Now available on web novel for free.
20.
What else did I want to talk about around this time? Yeah, so clearly there is a spy within the Kozuki boys. Like someone who knows the plan is constantly leaking details of it. So we saw it initially with the whole tattoos and the initial plan that was leaked, and then we had now near the end of Act 2, the plan was changed, so the location was changed and stuff like that, and that was leaked too to the Shogun. So someone's obviously a spy. There is an imposter
Any
among us.
guesses on who is the spy?
Any
might
guesses?
be?
Well, if there were hints, I didn't really see them. Like, there wasn't anything
It's
blatant.
Usopp! That two-timing bastard!
Yeah, right.
How could he do this to us?
Yeah, no, like, if there were hints, I don't think they were blatant, because it wasn't anything that made me like, It was just, just the fact that there is a spy was the only thing that made me think. But I bet, like, when we do see the reveal and then there's gonna be a flashback, it's like, oh, I should have known. But I also want to say that, please, if you're planning a rebellion or secret society of any kind, don't get matching tattoos, guys. Not a good idea, okay? Like,
Yeah,
don't
I know.
get...
I was thinking the same thing. Like, they technically could kind of just check. But, yeah. But speaking of actually, rekindling the flame of the people that, were stepped upon and trodden upon for so long, we had our boy, the laughing dude, the old guy. I don't even know his name.
Yasu.
Yasuo!
That was so sad.
Yeah, like, he was a true Chad, man. Like, so he was also a former Kozuki guy or something, right? He was something.
And the sad part is, like, people didn't really even remember him because he looks so different.
Yeah, so he was a daimyo, right? He was a daimyo, meaning one of the retainers of the former shogun, who is Odin.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up basically living in that Scraps village.
Yeah, so he didn't, like, get time traveled. He lived for those 20 years, and he ended up eating one of the smiles that didn't work for him. So he's always got that thing. He hasn't been
reveal.
Pardon?
dude, that reveal, that wasn't just like how it happened. After he dies, and he dies laughing, and his daughter is laughing her head off
Yeah,
and
it's
crying
so
at the same
sad,
time.
man.
And the whole crowd is just laughing and laughing. And
Yes.
Zoro's just bewildered. Like, what is happening? Why are they laughing at this man's death? Like, even this dude's own daughter. And then he gets the reveal that why the devil fruit is called a smile. Ever since Punk Hazard, it was called a smile because the side effect. How crazy is that? I freaked out when I read
Yeah,
that.
and he would even gives more context to the term Joker, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically what we learned is that the smile fruits fail 90% of the time to give a power to whoever consumes it. Only 10% of the time it actually works. The other 90% of the time, people just end up having side effects and no powers. And one of those side effects is the inability to express any emotion other than laughter, uncontrollable laughter, which becomes like a tick. They can't even like mourn or feel any anger or sadness or anything other than just laughter.
Anyway,
apparently
I was just trying
smiles are
to
meant
say
be back
because
in
he aged.
Sabaody.
I was just trying to say like the combination of him aging 20 years, constantly like having eaten the smile, living on the outskirts, and be like starving pretty much. It was they didn't recognize him and they forgot about him, which was it was so sad and it just added to it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was sad. And we skipped a part about my boy Sanji. Soba Mask.
Soba mask.
Soba Mask. That was... No, first of all, yeah, I think both Sanji and Zoro were great in this arc. And obviously Luffy was too. But Soba Mask was an awesome thing. So basically, because Sanji did something that displeased the Shogun, people were like abusing everyone in that neighborhood where he had been selling his soba. So in order to protect the people and take on the Shogun's men without revealing who he is, he puts on that Germa uniform. And one of the special abilities it has is basically a cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter. He can turn himself invisible, which is what he always wanted.
Yeah.
Yes,
So I don't
our
like the
boy!
fact that he's relying on the technology that his blood family gave him. Like, I don't like that. But at least at the very I don't know. At the very least, we get a little power up for him. It was used because he needed to cover his face so they couldn't see his identity, and
Yes.
they gave him something he's always wanted. Although at the same time, it's like I thought the whole thing was that naturally he was able to overcome and get stronger than his family, despite being kind of the bad egg or what they thought was the bad egg. And I thought that was really cool. But
I like
So
to
Nux,
think-
let me say
Yo,
this. It's
that
almost
was already
like
proven.
Nux, it's almost like Sanji's similar to Todoroki in the sense that at first
Oh my
Todoroki
God.
doesn't want to use his fire side, just like Sanji didn't want to use the Germa uniform. But then when it comes to protecting the innocent, he
Dude,
has to
Todoroki and Sanji are
cross
like the same
that
person.
burden. He has to jump that hurdle, and he does. So I personally liked it because if I was him, obviously I'm Machiavellian. I would do what it needs to be done. So in that sense, if you have Machiavellian in your bingo for
I'm
this
not
episode,
gonna lie. I was a little put off by that personally. When it happened, I was like, bruh. They implied that there would be so much more emotional tension to using that suit as opposed to literally his first fight since getting it. He
Yeah.
uses it, you know?
he says,
Like-
"I'm never going to use this. I don't even want to talk about it." Uses it first fight.
yeah. So you could
His
say that
first fight.
you could say that it would have been more impactful if he used it for the first time, like when one of his friends was on the verge of death or something, and he needed to save him, like someone from the crew. But it was still a decent scene. I liked the.
Yeah, it was a fine scene, but
However,
like, I think that
He's
It
also
could have been
already
done.
proven clearly that he doesn't need it, right? Like he
not
doesn't
just
need it.
about
He
whether he
already
needs
surpassed his family, and in this case, he's using it more so to hide his face.
Yeah. So it makes sense. It's just not as impactful emotionally as if he'd had to use it to save Luffy's life or something.
hmm And it was funny
Right.
because he was upset by the fact he had to use it, and it was like I honestly thought it was gonna be like an emotional thing where it's like, oh shit, I have to use this for the extra strength. But I'm happy they didn't do it because like, oh, I need that extra strength, Because that would go against his character.
no, it wouldn't. I don't know. I didn't love how it was done, personally.
I agree. It wasn't perfect.
I mean, it's a matter of personal taste, I think. Yeah, maybe it could have been done better. but so much stuff happens here. It's like
I don't know.
And remem-
I feel like maybe Nux would have preferred, like, let's say he needs to save someone and he uses it, but like it's like a emotional thing for him to rely on it. But at the same time, I would not want it to be done that way. I don't want him to have to rely on it for the strength, which I'm sure he probably will in the future, and I won't be happy about it.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, we haven't seen it yet. He only used it briefly. It's not like he used it in a major fight where we tested all the capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, let's see how they handle that power up because, yeah, Sanji so far has been relying on his kicks, and he is overdue for some kind of like major power up because Zoro
I'm happy for him to get the power up. I'm happy for him to be comfortable using it and to need it and all that. I just feel like it would have been nice if it would have been a more emotional moment.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a fair critique, and I think that we'll see how it's used in the future. That will determine a lot as well.
Yeah, that's true. It very likely will still end up happening.
Yeah, because the other thing though is you got to think about it.
First time he's using it. Whatever. Anywho,
but the other thing
point.
from a realistic perspective, if you don't test out the suit and then you use it for the first time in like a very high pressure situation,
I agree with you, but also from a realistic perspective, most of what happens in One Piece doesn't make sense.
I mean, fair. Also, we got the reveal that Momo's sister is actually the hot geisha idol lady.
I mean, I wasn't super surprised by that.
Yeah, me neither. Although I will say I like how she was handled. Hiyori is her name, I believe. Because at first when we meet the hot geisha lady, she seems like to be a terrible person. She uses these men, takes all their money, and then ends up manipulating and tricking them into poverty. So you think, oh, wow, this woman is terrible. She's a horrible person, selfish, manipulative. But then later you learn that the people that she was screwing over were terrible people who were abusing her own people because she is the daughter of Odin. So it ended up being actually quite cool. I liked her character arc. So she is a good person, but she is willing to be Machiavellian in order to... yeah.
Well used this time.
Cute. We were finally introduced to all the 9 scabbards in this part. Because until now we were always talking about them. There's Dog and Cat Dude. There's
honestly, I've lost count at this point, like who's who, because we never see them like at the same time. So I'm kind of.
Well, that's why I'm telling you.
Oh, I remember there's a guy called Kappa, like from the.
He is a Kappa, yes.
Like from the Twitch meme and also the clothing company.
Right, and also the water demon from Japanese folklore.
See, I don't know that. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of references to Japanese history and folklore here that I don't necessarily understand. Like I know there's a lot of references to like kabuki theater and the characters there. Like I believe Raizo, like he's a direct reference to like a kabuki mask or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot. I feel like if we grew up in Japan and knew the culture better, we would get so many references.
Awkward silence. Love it.
Yeah, but as I was trying to say, we have all of the guys, finally. And 2 of them are not necessarily people you'd expect to be part of the scabbards. Yes? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just wondering where you're going with this.
Ashura Doji was one of the scabbards, the fat dude on the bull guy.
Oh, yeah, the strong one. Yeah, so I kind of suspected that he was important. Remember, in the last episode, I was like, okay, this guy's strong. He must be important.
Yep.
So my understanding is he didn't get transported into the future, so
Correct.
he kind of lost hope after a while. But now he's coming back around that he realizes that the time travel actually worked and people are actually getting together to resist.
Honestly, I kind of zoned out for a second. I don't want to spoil anything.
Revealed, and I literally just read it. Did they not say that person's name?
No, I think it was. Yeah.
No, him. Yes, that I know. People in chat are saying no, don't spoil, but I'm pretty sure they said it.
Oh, like one more maybe that we don't know. Yeah, I don't have the count.
The 9th one. They mentioned him.
So there was someone mentioned, but they couldn't find him, right? Was it Ashura or something like that?
No. Anyway, whatever. We'll ignore it. I'm just gonna look for the page to see exactly what it says.
Okay.
But anywho, Zoro had a lot of really sick moments in.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I will say that it's hard to keep track of all these names because obviously, if we were Japanese speakers, like these names would be more meaningful to us because they're all based on certain words and references and stuff. But it's hard as a non-Japanese speaker to keep track of all these long Japanese names because Wano has a lot of characters that it introduces, man.
That's fair.
It's true.
But anyway, Zoro kind of he's like a man for the people in the first half of this part. But he ends up fighting this one dude on a bridge for a very long time.
Yes. Didn't
And,
that dude turn out to be a fox or something?
Yup! I love that.
It was another
That's
folklore
another
reference.
great example of like Oda adding a bit of supernaturalism to One Piece.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of stuff for sure. Folklore, like then there was the whole thing about the swords, right? So
Yeah.
this is near the end of the act, but he already gives Zoro's Odin's sword Enma, which is one of the 21 excellent great swords, and it actually makes use of the swordsman's haki on its own. So the swordsman has to be careful, or like the sword can drain him, and like it works even too well sometimes. Like he tries to slice a tree and he slices off an entire cliff. And so with that sword, we got a bunch of lore with how in this certain part of Wano, people were buried with their swords, and these
the
swords were
reason
still
why,
intact.
we could cover the reason why Hiyori gave Enma, right? They wanted they wanted
Shisui
Shui
one?
back because it was like one of their national treasures.
Yeah, and it was stolen, I guess, by Moria, right?
And that's how Zoro
Yeah.
ended up getting it. Yeah.
Yeah, so during Thriller Bark, so yeah, I mean, something as minor as you would think as getting a sword in Thriller Bark ends up being like a pretty important plot point here.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking that the Odin sword will be even more.
Yeah. It was super
Powerful.
cool to see his arm like completely shrink when he just tried to hold it.
Yeah.
You know? And like he had to really like concentrate in order just to like handle it. But then he ended up handling it relatively easily, and they didn't think that he would be able to. So I'm interested to see what he's going to be able to do with this sword going forwards.
Yeah, okay, so there's a major thing. Okay, there's a major thing that I noticed, and it was referenced 2 times, I think. Zoro used a term that was identified by the people from Wano as being an old Wano dialect. And Zoro heard it from an old man from his village, where he comes from. And we also saw that some people from Wano emigrated away from Wano at some point in the past. And that would explain why Zoro, even though he's not from Wano, has samurai type clothing and culture and all this type of stuff, right? And like, you know, the katana, he seems to be descendant from some Wano people who at some point left Wano and settled in East Blue, right?
Yeah, so a lot of people say like, oh, maybe it was his master or maybe it was his parents or something. I think Zoro was born in Wano and got lost
Huh.
and ended up in the
Yeah, I
East Blue.
also have a suspicion that something like that as well.
I think
The
that's the
truth is,
most likely
we don't know
thing.
a lot about Zoro. Like, as far as the Straw Hats go, we could paint a picture for most of their lives, except Zoro's. We really just have like 1 year span, you know?
Mm-hmm. And that's
Yeah,
why
so
no one understands Zoro, right?
One would assume that Zoro would know if he was from Wano, though.
Debatable. We saw him
Yeah.
pretty young in the
Right,
East
Zoro.
Blue. I don't know if you have memories back from like before that. I think Wano
So the
got
stuff
lost.
that happened with his friend, the girl who wanted to be a swordsman, all that is the East Blue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So maybe if he was like a baby and he ended up somehow.
He got
But-
reincarnated in the East Blue.
There is definitely a connection, though. There's definitely a connection, and it was heavily hinted at. You know, and it explains why Zoro has this samurai style and swords, even though he is so far from Wano.
I want to preface, chat. I am talking as if I don't know anything in the future, guys. Like, I'm not gonna spoil stuff for him. Please don't we're only covering Act 2 right now. Please don't spoil Act 3 in what's it called? In the chat.
No spoilers here. Zip. But Zoro, I really like that that fox little chapter with the fox. I thought that was a really cool chapter. And
Yeah,
also, Zoro fought and defeated Killer.
God,
Bro.
man, fix your mic, bro.
My mic fine. He fought Killer and Bridge Guy at the same time. Hello?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, no, Zoro had some great stuff here.
Why are you not commenting on the Killer thing? That scene was so good.
I feel like it was very brief, wasn't it? Brief? Am I missing out here?
Well, I mean, they had a fight where Zoro got stabbed and he beat Killer, and then Killer got dragged to Udon, and they got tortured together. And Kid was like, "How did they do this to my partner?"
Oh, yes, you're right. So that was earlier in the arc. Yeah, I remember now. He gets injured because he was trying to protect the girl, the laughing girl, right?
Indeed. And that's another supernova.
Dude, that was so impactful. Like kids, like definitely destroyed about it.
Yeah.
That's why
And
I was gonna bring it up earlier, but then it didn't make sense at the time.
there was also a little bit thing with Kid having like this crazy robotic arm.
Well, it's not really robotic per
It's
se.
his devil fruit.
Yeah.
Also, apparently there was an SBS. Did you read the SBSs for this?
No.
Yes, I did.
mean,
Did you see anything about? Because apparently it was revealed that Zoro's master is from Wano.
No.
I didn't know
Nope.
about that.
Yeah, it was revealed in SBS.
Unless the SBSs are not being published by Viz. Because I was reading the Viz one.
Very epic. Didn't know.
Old SBS? Wow, it was an old SBS. Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there was definitely a connection. That's for sure. I just didn't know how long, how long it was planned, but probably for a long time because Oda does really sketch everything out.
Yeah, Oda does do that.
It's revealed
But yeah,
that his
so
master's.
Zoro's, I mean,
wait,
Kid's
sorry,
arm
sorry,
really
sorry.
looked like robotic to me just from the way it was drawn.
Well, do
So
you
I
know
was
what
like,
Kid's
what is
devil
going
fruit
on here?
does?
I didn't realize it was a robotic arm. I know Queen took it off and was playing with it, but I didn't realize it was an actual
I
robotic
thought it just
arm.
Because he only
Kid-
lost the arm recently, right? Like with the whole Shanks fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I personally think, I know that you're not as big of a Law stan as I am, but Law was a freaking legend this arc as well.
Are you kidding me? Law was completely useless this whole arc.
He was a legend.
Bro, what did Law do? Like, he just got captured again.
He traded himself for his entire crew and told his crew, don't tell them I'm captured or Luffy will do something stupid to save me. What a boss move.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's okay, but I was expecting more from Traffy.
Well, the arc's not over yet, man.
True, but I do like him as a character. So that's why I was kind of like, okay, Traffy, he's here, he's got the cool devil fruit, what is he gonna do? And he kind of didn't do anything yet. So I was like,
It was so badass though, man. Like
It was
that's a
badass.
true
I
captain
would
move right
agree.
there, and that's how
Really
much he
badass.
cares about his master plan working. You know, because he absolutely knows his crew is gonna potentially well, not potentially, they'll try to come and save him. Luffy will. They'll ruin everything. There'll be casualties in his crew potentially. Like he just took it like a man, you know, and it's obviously
And
not
also,
over.
Don't disrespect Traffy by thinking he didn't anticipate any of this. He may have. He's pretty big brained.
He is
as
large
far as the
brained.
big brain boys go, Traffy's up there.
He's pretty Machiavellian.
He's pretty Machiavellian.
okay, well, I don't know how he's gonna get out, but so far I was like, bro, I want to see that Op fruit in action, and we didn't really see it that much. Although he did take down Hawkins, but like off screen, right?
What?
Didn't Traffy take out Hawkins off screen? Like we see Hawkins talking to him, and he's like cut in half, but we didn't actually see the fight. I don't think.
I'm not gonna say anything because I think it's spoilers.
Yeah, I
Chat,
know.
help.
Honestly, I feel like chat is confused today as well on what is Act 2 and isn't, because we keep on saying things and they're like, this happened. I'm like, no, I know for a fact that happened in Act 3. Stop it.
Dude, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure what Animac is alluding to happened in Act 3, man.
No. So the Hawkins thing definitely happened already. I just read it. It's just that I don't think we saw exactly how it happened. We just kind of
Oh,
see
no,
Law talk
something
about
with Hawkins happened. I just don't remember exactly.
So obviously we had the whole Hawkins thing. He gives up the crew for Traffy, and then at some point we see Hawkins like cut in half talking to Traffy. But I don't think we saw exactly how it happened and what Traffy's gonna do next.
Oda possesses the off-screen no me. Haha, good one, Briggs. I didn't steal that joke from chat, so that technically his joke fell flat. Get wrecked.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was near the end of the arc. So Traffy does have something planned, but like I was expecting to do something earlier, but like you guys said, the arc's not over yet. One thing I will say about this arc though, how do you guys rate it in terms of like the all-time great arcs so far?
Well,
it's really set up. Like, honestly, we haven't even.
I will not lie. Okay, Briggs, you'll say your thing first.
I'm just gonna say, like, even like you can't judge Act 1 and Act 2 without Act 3. Act 3 is not even done yet, and I don't know. These two, like, it's clearly a lot of build up going down. I like Wano. I like the vibe. I like the setup so far. But it's just too soon to say, and I don't think it's anything special so far. But I think it's good.
Yeah, because one thing I noticed is that all the great arcs, like the S tier arcs, have a lot of something personal for a major character that happens.
I actually agree with Animac. I'm not gonna lie.
So if you look at,
I'm still expecting Oda to pull a pretty huge something out of his butthole for Wano. Like, yeah, I know that after Mark read the beginning of Wano, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is the best arc out there," and I can't say I agree with that. I think that this arc will completely be reliant on the finale, and then you could look back and say, oh yeah, this buildup was definitely worth it.
Yeah, so the thing about the Wano arc is a lot happens, obviously, and it is a big epic buildup and all that stuff. But the people that it's most personal for are, in terms of characters we've known before in Wano, are like Momo and
Kinemon, who I hate.
And them, who are not that important to us personally yet. So, for example, if you look at Arlong Park, Nami's personal story was a huge part of that. If you look at Water 7, we had Robin, and also Frankie was introduced. So we just met him, but Robin was same thing with Impel Down, Robin. Then Luffy and his relationship to Ace was really important for Marineford and the.
Don't worry, you're gonna get something in Act 3 that I personally loved, and I think makes this arc better than what I thought at this point.
Dude, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, we'll see.
Did you read the latest chapter, 998?
I have not.
Dude!
I will be caught up for chapter 1000. Don't you worry.
Briggs.
But you know what I am caught up to? Mashal.
Nice. What's wrong with you?
But yeah, the other arcs that I can think of, something personal being a big part. We had Dressrosa, Traffy, even like what's it called? Alabasta had the Vivi thing. What else? Oh yeah, whole cake with Sanji. Whole cake with Sanji. Even Thriller Bark kind of has Zoro shine. We had the whole sword thing, and then we have him shine at the end.
Dude, and we had Brooke. Don't forget Brooke, man.
Yes, Thriller Bark, yeah. So yeah, we'll see. Like I said, it's definitely a good arc, but I don't know if it's going to be one of the greats. I feel like up to this point, I feel like something more personally important to a character we really care about would need to happen to make it, up there with the greats. Because yeah, I'm not, I don't care that much about Momo. I know it's a personal story for him and all that stuff.
How can you not care about Momo?
I don't know, man.
I don't blame you. I don't really care about Momo either.
I like Momo.
I wish him well, but
I wish him well.
I wish him well. Hell yeah.
But and Water 7. Water 7 also had Usopp versus Luffy, right?
I think we haven't really talked much about Orochi in either of the Wano podcasts.
That's because Orochi's kind of a douchey character.
Yeah, so he seems just a
Boring.
generic villain, right? He's a bad guy, opportunistic guy who teamed up with Kaido to take control as the Shogun, and now he just does bad things.
Oda did a good job of making me hate his guts. Anyone?
There was
the only really cool moment that we didn't talk about is Kaido and Big Mom actually meeting.
Yes. So after that is a massive moment because Kaido. So Big Mom gets her memories back after the fight with Queen, and then Big Mom ends up going to the island to meet with Kaido. And at first, obviously, it's confirmed that they were on the same pirate crew at one point. And then at first they fight. And you're thinking, oh shit, like everyone there is like, we gotta evacuate the island. This is crazy. They're fighting for like a whole day or something.
Dude, when they start fighting in the sky, like they first clash and the sky just splits.
Yes. And like most of the fight was off screen, obviously, but apparently people are saying that in the anime was longer.
Yeah, they extend everything in the anime. That was probably 7 episodes.
That's interesting. But yeah, so I thought it was a huge deal because they end up forming an alliance. So after this fight, they decide Big Mom and Kaido are going to form an alliance. 2 emperors forming an alliance. And the other 2 emperors, Shanks and Blackbeard, will never form a counter alliance, right? So this is a massive deal. Like they're now an amazingly huge power if they actually can stick to the alliance. Obviously, they're both huge egos. So whether they can actually stick to the alliance is another question. But if they can, like how is anyone going to take them down? And if Big Mom's going to help Kaido fend off the rebellion in here, like the big rebellion that we've been waiting for, how the hell are they gonna win?
It's also a huge, exactly, it's a huge deal for the current arc and what's going down. It's like how.
And this will be the last arc because Luffy gets killed.
This is Ozaid.
I know if Oda just gets sick and tired of all the criticism and like expectation, and people are like, "Oh, this chapter wasn't good," or "Why are you taking so long?" or "When is it gonna end?" He's gonna be like, "You know what? Luffy fucking dies. Big Mom eats him. Suck it.
So
it's over."
All right, I'm excited for Act 3. I'm very excited for Act 3.
Someone in the chat.
I'm excited for one part very specifically.
Exactly.
Someone wants to talk in the chat. Wanted us to reference Nami's happiness punch.
Happiness punch.
Could have a happiness punch. That's true. It happened.
Although, guys, don't underestimate the mature ninja lady. Okay?
I think my favorite scene was the bath scene. Don't you agree, Animac?
It was a great scene. Yes, it was so funny because they're like, "Oh, let's go relax for a bit," and then like the bath gets raided by Hawkins, and then Hawkins is okay, but Drake is like getting distracted by the women.
And then Sanji appears out of nowhere, like he was there the whole time. But of course he wasn't. He's a gentleman.
Yes. I was like, "Where the fuck did Sanji come from?" And I'm like, "Oh shit, he could be invisible." Oh, it's so good, man.
God damn, I love One Piece.
Yeah, One Piece is great.
And someone called me a fake fan for not being caught up. I like reading chapters in a couple at a time, man.
Read 998.
I will.
Anything else we need to talk about, guys, before we call it a day?
I saw the spoilers, by the way, for 999.
Okay, we're not going to be talking about that. We're not going to be talking about... Listen, guys, if you enjoyed the One Piece version, definitely follow us on all the podcast platforms and share it with your friends. Also, we have the Dragon Ball version, which is happening with Gozen, my brother, and his friend Ray. And thirdly, I am now part of a Keijo Chads podcast, which is organized by Jojo Talks Too Much. Basically, every episode of the podcast, we talk about one episode of the actual anime. And Keijo, bro, super underrated. I'm telling you, if you rewatch it, it's great. And we have this thing where we do like a Keijo fantasy league. We pick like an anime girl from any anime series, and we put her up against each other. If they were in Keijo, if they were fighting each other in Keijo, and then we have like a poll voting on Twitch polls for who wins. And I picked Meta Leona for my first girl, and she won the whole thing. So just saying.
Bro, it's just boobs and butts, bro.
This is the saddest thing I've ever
Honestly, I tuned in for a bit, and it was so freaking entertaining.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Briggs. Nux is a virgin.
No, it's
Cage
sad that
over.
people would pick any characters other than Maria Leona. That's what I meant.
Oh, okay, good. Good.
And that podcast happens live on the JoJo Talks Too Much Twitch channel. Just so you
Our
know.
friend, our good friend Jojo.
JoJo.
Bye bye, JoJo.
All right, guys. Thank you again for joining us. We're back again next week, and until next time, see you, Space Cowboys. Love ya.
Bang.